guys, Lucas Sucker here. Today I have an updated post Banlist, post dude, Vanquish Soul combo guide. And this is going to be with a lot of the combos that are on the Julian Masterclass about how he won Worlds and how Vanquish Soul Canine is still one of the best decks going into this next format. If you are interested in that, go ahead and check it down in the description box down below. It's got a bunch of hard work in it, and everything that is in there information-wise includes everything from not only post dude, but also post Banlist, which keep in mind, this just happened today. They've already got it updated. They've already going streamline. So it's super, super fast, and it will continue to update as things need. Starting off here with the first combo, we're going to normal summon Noroi. Use the effect of Noroi to go ahead and special summon our Jokel from the deck. And then we're going to use Jokel to go ahead and add Lantern. From there, we're going to overlay those two monsters, go into a Ripper. And then we're going to use Ripper to go ahead and detach off the Noroi to summon or to search an Azuna. We now have our Lantern effect to go ahead and revive our Noroi. And Lantern can go ahead and add Case of Canine. We can use Case to then add a Jokel. If you haven't used Jokel yet, we can use our Noroi to go ahead and send off our Case to look at our opponent's hand. Here you have kind of a decision tree on what you really decide you want to do. If you look at your opponent's hand and there's an impermanent, obviously we're not going to go for the sequencing that I do here in the next 15 seconds. But if they don't have an imperm, you can choose to make this play here, which is the most fruitful when it comes to advantage. You go ahead and summon out the Jokel, summon the Azuna, use Azuna to dump a Lupus. Then you can link off all four of your monsters into a Saryuja, and use Saryuja's effect. Now here I will go into Saryuja for just a second. 90% of the time that this card is summoned, it's cope. It's not the correct thing to do. It just doesn't make sense. But in Vanquish Soul Canine, it kind of does. Right? We're still protected from hand traps because we have a Ripper here on the field. We're still getting to pretty much everything we were going to get to anyways, except we sorted out our hand to be the exact thing we want. Even if we draw into like a useless monster here, like we draw into just a random level 5 monster, it still gets us to an extra disruption because we can use the Saryuja just to summon the random level 5 from our hand, and then we have Lupus in the graveyard to revive and overlay with it during our opponent's turn. There's a lot of things you can get to off of this. But the math that's explained here, I'm just going to let this play here, but there's a lot of math that kind of explains all of the like different things that you can draw into to become playable off of this. Not to mention the math that you didn't already open one, or that the other 4 cards in your hand are not a Vanquish Soul monster that you can like extend with or summon off for Saryuja. So there is a very high chance that you get into a starter off of the Saryuja. I think this is the correct thing to do. Obviously, if you look at your opponent's hand and you see their hand's horrible, it's like 2 Ash Blossoms that are useless, and they've got like a Purge that's also useless, you should just go for a normal Canine board. Because Canine cards are going to win you the game in that situation. You don't need to overextend or take the risk that you don't draw anything with Saryuja when you can just win the game. But Saryuja will get you playing the game a lot of the time. Let's look at the next combo. In this combo, we have 2 Jokels in our hand. That's all we have, nothing else. We're going to start off with activating Jokel to special summon out Jokel. Jokel is going to then add a Noroi, and we're going to normal summon that Noroi, special summoning an Azuna from our deck. On summon, obviously, we're going to use the effect of Azuna to go ahead and dump our Lupus. And then you need to be careful with this. With the monster you summon off Noroi, you are locked into Canine extra deck monsters while the guys face up on the field. So you need to overlay with the Azuna that you summoned here to go to a Ripper. Use the effect, detach off whatever, search for a Lantern. And then you can use the Lantern to revive the Azuna here to get Lantern and the Azuna on the field. Use Lantern's effect to go ahead and add a Case. And then from there, you can use Case to add whatever you're wanting to. You can add an Earth here. You can add a Dark. It doesn't really matter. The main thing is that we're just trying to deck thin, so we can maximize the amount of disruptions we have, but we also want to maximize the amount of like live draws there are into our deck off of the Saryuja. We're going to use the Noroi effect here to go ahead and look at our opponent's hand, and then we can do the same thing we did in the first combo. We can use a Saryuja, we'll draw into any 4 cards in our deck. We're probably going to win the game from there, right? As you can see, this is like a very, very streamlined thing. There's a lot of things you can draw into. Instead of this Azuna as well, if you already have like a Holy Sue and you're just looking for a fire, you can choose to add a Dark monster and just take the risk you're going to draw into a fire monster, because the others are pretty in your favor, honestly. And that gives you live lines of play, because obviously you can special the Holy Sue, reveal the Jokel you added off of the Case of Canine, and then you can also reveal the Fire monster you drew into. Those are it for like the only Canine combos. Let me show you how you can actually use these cards that have been out for a while to do sequencing that you've never even seen. Stuff that's a little bit better than what other people have shown off. So in this combo, we have Stake Your Soul plus a Fire monster. I know this is a 1-card combo now, and it's a limited 1-card combo. Because Stake Your Soul got hit on the ban list, but it's still important to know these combos and how you can really sequence them to reach the maximum value with the deck. This is any fire monster in your entire deck, and I can almost guarantee you this is sequencing you haven't seen before. We're going to use the Stake Your Soul to summon a Raisin. Raisin's going to add a Jalong. We're going to use the Raisin to then reveal any fire monster in our hand to go ahead and show off the protection effect of it, which is then going to trigger the Jalong because a monster was revealed. And then you can link off the Raisin. You can go into a Rock, and of course we're going to use the effect of Rock to add our Raisin. From here, we're going to go Jalong, reveal 2 fires to go ahead and add our Holy Sue. We're going to use the Holy Sue effect to special out. Now here, you get into a little bit of a weird situation, because we basically don't have access to the field spell right now. We have no Dark monster in our hand because we have Holy Sue here, and we just don't have a dark. We have 2 fires, so we can't summon from deck. So our next line of play is like clearly a canine line, but before the new set, this is like not something that would really get you to playing, because even if you add Jokul here, which is like your best starter / extender for canine stuff, you don't have another 5 to show off. But thanks to the set of Doom of Dimensions, Ripper can actually add an Arroy here, because since we started with Stake, we don't have a normal summon used yet. So we're going to special summon a Jokul from our deck, add a Lantern, and then we can use the Arroy to send off the Jokul to look at our opponent's hand here. The reason that we're doing this now is so that we're freed up from our Ripper or our Canine lock, because obviously we've already made Ripper. There's not a Canine extra deck monster we want to make right now. So we're just going to send off the Jokul, we'll free up our lock, and then look at our opponent's hand. We're going to use the Lantern now to go ahead and special summon from the graveyard. We can use the Lantern to go ahead and add a Case. We're going to use the Case to go ahead and add a Jokul. And the reason that we're adding a Jokul here is because it's a dark monster. Super, super good card. Just to have like attributes in your hand. The fact that you can cycle onto other attributes is really, really good. We're going to take our Jokul, take our Noroi, and make a Quinquiri Princess. We're going to use the effect to detach and actually special summon back that Holy Sue that we had earlier in rotation, because now we do have a Fire and a Dark in our hand, so everything kind of just like looped back around. Before we continue any further, let's go ahead and free up some space on our board. Link off our 2 monsters here. We're going to make an SP, and then we can use the Holy Sue to go ahead and special summon a Mad Love from our deck by revealing a Fire and our Dark monster. Mad Love is going to trigger to go ahead and add a start. We're going to start, use the effect to go ahead and target our Mad Love, and then we can use the Caesar effect to go ahead and bounce our Holy Sue. Now you may be asking, why are we summoning our Caesar right now? Isn't Holy Sue like a good disruption? It's a good card to end on. Totally is, but we're going to get to a little bit more by doing this here. We're going to go start effect to go ahead and place our Snow Devil in this spell and trap zone. We're going to set that, and then we can actually use the Caesar effect to pop our own card, because we've set up every possible attribute. We're going to pop our Case, trigger the effect of Case, and that's going to get us access to Force Release. And off of just Stake Your Soul, plus any fire monster in the entire game, even this little logo here, I mean, it could be a Flamevale Guard. It's not going to matter. It just has to be a fire monster. We were able to get to a Ripper with the Quick Play spell, SP Little Knight, Mad Love, Caesar on the field, Snow Devil set, all 3 attributes in our hand, as well as we have a Rock here, so if for some reason any of our Vanquish cards get put into the graveyard, we can add them back, or we can just use Rock to deploy our Raisin from our hand, and we'll still have all 3 attributes. So obviously this is one of the best combos this deck has to offer. Learning sequencing like this is going to make you a lot better at the deck. Let's look at the last combo I have to show off. In this last combo, all we have is Stake Your Soul plus a Jokul. We're going to use the Stake Your Soul, showing off the Jokul, to go ahead and special summon Mad Love from our deck. Use the Mad Love to add a start, and then we can use start, pointing at our Mad Love to go ahead and add a Raisin. We're then going to go ahead and normal summon the Raisin, use the effect to add a Holy Sue here, and this is where the line starts to get a little bit different. We're actually going to use the effect of our Holy Sue, showing a Dark and an Earth monster, to bounce the monster with the lowest defense on the field, which is actually our Raisin. So we're going to put that back in our hand. And what that does for us is it effectively lets us to get a fire monster back in rotation without having to make Rock. We're going to use Jokul effect now to special summon the Holy Sue from our hand. We're going to use Jokul to go ahead and search for a Lantern. That way we have progression and plays through if we do get interacted with. We're then going to link off the Rock using our Sue. We're going to use the effect of Sue to go ahead and add back to our hand. And then from here, we're going to link off our Mad Love, link off our Jokul into an SP Little Knight. This is going to be our nib protection for this combo, so if they do decide to nib us, we're going to be able to use the effect of SP and Rock to go ahead and tag out, and then we're going to have a ton of attributes in our hand, as well as the Rock summon during our opponent's turn. We're going to use Lantern now to go ahead and special summon back from the graveyard, and then we're going to use the Lantern effect to go ahead and add Case. If they don't nib us here, we're obviously going to use Case to add a Jokul, and then we can safely make a Ripper to go ahead and protect ourselves. Ripper is going to detach, then add an Azuna, getting another attribute to our hand, as well as an extender if we need it. And we can use Holy Sue to special summon out, showing them our Vanquish Soul monster. Because we do have 2 attributes, we can just go to the end phase, special summon whichever monster we want to. I usually like to do Caesar, and then we can use Caesar to go ahead and pop our Case, which is going to get us access to the Quick Play spell, and we can use our field spell to go ahead and set the trap as well. So this is our end board here. This looks super, super close to the board we just had 2 seconds ago, except it did it in a little bit of a cooler manner, safer manner, through pretty much every sort of interaction. These are the type of combos that are in Julian's Masterclass. If you want to get it, it came out today. It's $10 off, 20%, whatever that is. It's $40 today, and for the rest of this weekend here. So if you want to get it, it's in the description box down below. If you guys don't want to get it, you're totally not forced to, right? It's a product that is meant to make you better at the game. If you are not super, super focused on competitive, it is not a product that you need to buy, but it will help you a lot. There's a lot of information there, a lot of videos, and truly, it's just a great product. It's a good value, even though it's $50 normally, $40 for this weekend. It has one of my spreadsheets in there, fully in-depth. If you guys have seen my spreadsheets, you guys know it's very in-depth, it's very explanatory, and it has a lot of every sequencing that you'd need. It's got deck lists in there, side deck patterns, everything updated for the new format. If you guys want to go check that out, description box down below. If you don't, totally understand it. I appreciate you guys no matter what. If you guys wouldn't mind commenting, and subscribing, though, I'd appreciate you. Have a great day.